Hey guys, Paladin Hammer here again. This is a response to the Atheist Paladin's video, which is a response to my video, which is a response to Cody's video. Cutting right to the chase, I'm going to actually not discuss his video at first. I'm going to discuss the comments he left in his video regarding my comments to him. In the Atheist Paladin's video and in his comments, he told me, and he's probably trying to tell you, that it's a Christian's duty to go around killing homosexuals. He told me, right after he asked me if I had read the books, that it's in Lev 18:22 for Christians to go out and kill homosexuals. It's in their religion to do it. So I looked up Lev 18:22, the Atheist Paladin, and it turns out you lied to me. Here's Lev 18:22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind it is abomination. Basically, it's saying it's immoral. You told me it's supposed to say, go and kill the gays. It doesn't say that. It says it's immoral, and that's what Christians have been trying to oppress on the rest of the world for years. It doesn't say anything about going out and killing a gay. And let me ask you something. Where are these killings of homosexuals in America? Where are they? 70% of America, according to Harris Interactive, is by some denomination or another Christian. It would seem to me that, seeing as they're the majority, they would be going out and killing gays every day. That would be a huge problem in this country. I know that the discrimination is, but killing? I read Yahoo pretty much every day. It's my homepage. I watch CNN and MSNBC. I'm not seeing any news stories. I'm not reading any obituaries about a gay person who was killed by a group of Christians. Where is this happening? I really don't see it happening anywhere. I read the nation's news every day. It's not happening. It's not in the Bible for Christians to go and kill homosexuals. I just read you the passage where supposedly it says to. It doesn't. Why'd you lie to me, the Atheist Paladin? Why'd you lie to everybody who watched that video? I have my source right there for Lev 18:22 underneath the actual phrase there on the right-hand side of your screen. Next, you told me right above where you said Lev 18:22 is the passage that contains thou shalt kill homosexuals. You told me that the Ten Commandments carry the death penalty. All right, let me get something straight. They carry the death penalty. I have right there underneath Lev 18:22, a little ways down, the Ten Commandments. I also have my sources for the two Ten Commandments. I'm looking through them right now. They don't carry the death penalty. They carry a penalty that says you're supposed to go to hell, but they don't carry any penalty that says you will be killed by a Christian for breaking these rules. Reading. Nope, they don't carry it. Tell me, where does it say in the Ten Commandments, the Atheist Paladin, for a Christian to go and kill homosexuals, to kill someone who breaks the Ten Commandments? There are different ways of rationalizing the Bible, of looking at the Bible. That's why we have Roman Catholicism, and Eastern Orthodox, and Lutheranism, and Protestantism, and Baptism, and Anglicanism, because there are different ways of interpreting it. Seventh-day Adventist, another Christian subdivision, believes that so long as you follow the Ten Commandments and the Ten Commandments alone, you'll go to heaven. There are different ways of looking at the Bible, dude. That's why there's so many different denominations of Christianity out there. There are different ways of deciding what's right and wrong when reading it. Okay, now actually on to your video. First you told me I misconstrued what Cody had to say in his video. You told me that in no way does Cody state that ending religion is the solution to all the bigotry in the world. But at the very beginning of Cody's video, and I quote, a solution to every single one of the world's problems, end quote, and he lists the numerous bigotries throughout the world. That's the very beginning of his video. What am I misconstruing? Ending religion will not end all the problems in the world. I'm sorry. Sorry if you're so simple-minded that you really believe that shit. Anyway, next, you give me the history of God bless you, and that's the history as I know it. I'm not going to argue against it. People thought the soul tried to escape the body when you sneezed. But modernly, I will argue that it's used for so much else. I mean, Christians use it to wish someone well. They use it to give praise. My grandmother in particular loves to end her conversations with God bless. Big deal. Who is she hurting by saying that? What is it hurting by saying that? It's hurting nothing. All right? You're weak if you think it's hurting something. But next, Next, you tell me that it's in the Bible that Christians go kill homosexuals. In fact, you asked me, have I read the books? You said, have you read their books? It's in the Bible for Christians to go out and kill homosexuals. I just gave you Lev 18:22. It's not. If it still is, give me the actual quote. All right? Okay. Next you told me that Stalin did ban religion, but then he brought it back. But what you forgot to tell me and everybody else who watched your video was that immediately after World War II, after he didn't need Christians anymore, he tried to ban it again. All right, moving on. I already discussed Christians and having in their rationalization of the Bible and their different ways of looking at the Bible. Uh, Finally, you ended your video, The Atheist Paladin, with French Muslims rioted in France because they hold no loyalty to that country and they want to press Islamic law onto that country. Bullshit. That's the biggest bullshit you told me in your entire video. Zmag.org, it's a European newspaper, a news magazine. They state that it's because French Muslims for almost 20 years have been denied economic, social, and political opportunities in France. They're discriminated against. And according to harrisinteractive.com, at least 50% of France is atheist, or in some manner non-theist, whether it's agnostic or atheism. What this tells me is that for the same reasons you militant atheists out there discriminate against Muslims must be the same reasons that French persons discriminate against Muslims in their own country, out in public, out in the open. There's this idea going through the militant atheist faction's head that all Muslims are violent persons. I have to ask you guys, do you have any Muslim friends? Do you have anybody who reads the Quran? Do you know any persons who practice the Islamic religion? Here at UCMO, I know 3 in particular. They're not violent. You're telling me that all Muslims are violent? Well then, watch some Muslim videos here on YouTube. They aren't violent. Watch just the terrorist ones. Watch the ones from Muslims who live here in the United States. They aren't all a violent people. There are different ways of reasoning and rationalizing and looking at religious books. Guys like Osama bin Laden read the stuff that says, in Islam that says, he who is unholy who does not believe in Islam. All right? And he used that to think, well, then it must be okay to kill them, even though Islam is just a later form of Christianity. In fact, they believe that Jesus was a prophet. And they follow the 10 Commandments. But those who don't, they're reading something else in the Quran, I guess. You told me that French Muslims rioted because they hold no loyalty. Zmag.org, as I stated, said that they've been denied economic, social, and political opportunities. They're being discriminated against in France. If you want to argue that, you're arguing against the facts. If you want to argue that the French people are not discriminating against Muslims because they're atheist, well, clearly they must be, because over 50% of France is by some denomination non-theist. And finally, in relation to the 2005 civil unrest in France, I have a video by one in particular French Muslim. And he states it as, the police beat Muslims out in the street, they discriminate against Arabic and African persons. I have to finally, the atheist paladin, I have to just ask you, why did you lie to me, dude? Why did you try to pass this bullshit off? What did you think, one lie is more righteous than another or something? That's my 2 cents.